because they need to be firing on all cylinders. The only way FNATIC beat MILLENIUM is if they just outslay them and outkill them. So MILLENIUM will actually have, I think, the better strategy and tactic and chemistry.
Agreed.
But if they're not firing, if they're not making the kills, none of that matters.
Something to pay attention to as well is, while FNATIC obviously have been making it through this loser bracket run, they've had a lot of slow starts. Something I've heard throughout the entire weekend so far is they came back in a Hardpoint, they were down quite a lot in, then Red Reserve were 2-1 up in the series, and then FNATIC ended up bringing it back. So I think MILLENIUM are a team that if you have a slow start against, they will punish you. They will start to run through with the series. So I'd like to see, on the FNATIC side, they come out in this one strong and possibly take the first map. But I feel if MILLENIUM do take that first Hardpoint, yes, even though I have been saying Wuskins has been great at Search and Destroy this weekend, I just think MILLENIUM will run with the series if they have a great start.
All right, well, here's a question. Here's a hypothetical I'm going to throw at you now.
Okay.
Who would face up better against Epsilon?
MILLENIUM.
MILLENIUM?
Because we've already seen FNATIC lose, so that was an easy answer.
See, paying attention.
I think, yeah, it would be a good matchup between the two sides, because I think it'd just be more of a grudge match between the two. We saw them face off early on in, the event, so I think it'll be, again, it's very even.
It was a close
down
game,
to the Search and Destroy, so I'd actually really like to see that that replay again. But I think MILLENIUM will be the ones to push on towards that, especially with Nolson firing on all cylinders. I think if FNATIC are going to take this series, they need to shut Nolson down.
Okay,
but they need to shoot Nolson down, and they need to shoot Moose down as well, because I mean we've seen it so many times of how well he's been playing. Newest, yes, exactly. He's been phenomenal all series.
I personally feel that if this one, I think FNATIC will be the better matchup, just for the pure sake that MILLENIUM are going to go into. I think FNATIC will go into that game, and Epsilon will be a little bit more scared of the opponent in FNATIC than they will be in MILLENIUM. I just think FNATIC's that type of roster that teams don't really know whether they're the underdog or whether they're actually a team that's going to come out and absolutely dominate. I'm not saying that Epsilon will ever underestimate the opponent if it was FNATIC. I just feel like FNATIC has a strategy and a game plan that will work against Epsilon, whereas MILLENIUM play quite similar to the Epsilon style of play.
Okay, I can see how we go through this then. A few of you have mentioned it, but I really want to look at this categorically, right? If we have to pick one player from each side who is the most critical player going forward, Stealth, I'm going to start with you. Let's go pick one from FNATIC first of all.
I don't know. Can we come back to this one? Honestly, I can't pick a player. I think they're all.
Well, no, you have to.
Well, no, that's not the question, is it? Now, come on. All right, Wuskins.
Wuskins, okay, that's a good pick.
I have to say Tommy. I think he's just literally the in-game leader. We've seen him go off quite a lot this weekend. You know the brothers can do it. You know they can. One of them always has a really good game, and I think Sunny B is that constant number 2. So I think it's mostly down to how well Tommy plays. If Tommy plays well, they've got a very good chance in this series.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go with Sunny B because I feel that Sunny B versus PT is the main gunfight between these two. And in terms of control inside hill, if Sunny B lets PT get control of it, MILLENIUM run away with this. If Sunny B can get control before PT does with the E-Rad in hand, FNATIC take this Hardpoint.
There you go. If you're watching at home, that is a count for everybody but Scraps. So that kind of doesn't help us an awful lot. No, I'm not going to say Scraps because that would be wrong. But all right, let's talk about the guys on MILLENIUM then. Who is the most important player going into this one? I'm going to start the other way around. Campbell.
Nolson.
Okay.
I feel like Nolson just needs to keep up the momentum that he's been doing this weekend. I think he is the type of player that allows the other 3 players to get into their positions and really go off. I think he is kind of that player around the hill rather than the player in the hill, but he creates so much space for players like PT to get into. So I think Nolson needs to go big, especially this series.
I'm going to side with Moose. I think he is similar sort of role to what Nolson plays in the team. So I just think that, for me, he's just been more influential through the season. I'm basing it not necessarily on this weekend, just of what we've seen overall from Moose has been so impressive all season.
See, I'm torn between Moose and Nolson. Both of them can have their time, but I've got to go with Nolson.
Me.
I'm not going to the dark side. No, I think, Nolson. I think with his slaying ability, I think I wanted to get a kill count on how many times he's picked up 2 and 3 pieces throughout this entire event. He must be easily reaching towards the 30 mark. So I think, he's going to be the difference.
Well, okay, it's an interesting point that you brought up here. Well, from what I got from that, it's not Marky B. No one ever picks Marky B anymore.
Weird.
Because he's the constant, though, isn't he? I think that's it, isn't it?
He performs, but he's never really shone in this team, which is very interesting with the way that this game works. Speaking of Nolson and Moose, so the difference between the two of them is, and it's something that it was kind of alluded to, but not really spoken about, is Nolson for me is blowing more hot and cold than Moose is. He is more inconsistent than Moose, game by game, series by series. So to say for him to go big is a key factor, It's more if he goes big, they can win because they're already, the rest of their team is being more consistent. So it's kind of like if he does well, they win. And yeah, that's important. But I find it hard to say he's going to be the most valuable player in this series because he may or may not be performing what we expect from him.
Yeah. I do think
Whereas with Moose, I think he is a keeper. If Moose has a bad game, I just don't actually ever see them winning.
Yeah.
So I think that's actually a more key factor for me when Moose goes off.
But in a way, I feel like Nolson's that type of player that he secretly goes off. He's behind the scenes goes off. I think he helps other secretly goes off. That's what I'm going to
They tape over the scoreboard.
Rolling with it. But I think
can't tell.
But he tell anyone.
Yeah,
yeah, but I
was not allowed to look at him.
It's kind of something.
Avert your gaze.
While I've been on the observer, I was able to pay attention to the most by paying attention to the minimap. It's like, okay, yeah, Moose will find the 2 and the 3 pieces, and then Marky B also will break inside of the hill. But if you look really in depth into it, Nolson just allows so much time and space for those other players to do that. So I feel like, for me, Nolson, I mean, going into this next game, anybody that's watching from home, just pay attention to the minimap. Just keep your eye on Nolson. See whereabouts he positions himself. He's an incredibly smart player, and he does honestly assist the teammates.
Well, I'll tell you what, while we're just waiting for this game to get ready, actually, let's have a quick reminder of the bracket to see how we got here for the day, and maybe some of the results that have surprised us or something we can actually pick out of it here. Of course, we are getting to the very end of this tournament. We will be finding a champion within the next 3 games. But as you can see, Splice's run here only really had that little bump in the road just with Epsilon just a little while ago. Splice took down FNATIC, they took down Elevate 3-0. Only Epsilon gave them the buff. On the other side of it, when we see, we come into this Millennium FNATIC game, you look at their run, obviously FNATIC suffered, and that 3-0, by the way, to Splice, was not a nice 3-0. It was an absolute beating.
Oh, they pissed at them.
Yeah, it was a very, very shocking defeat. Whereas you go on the side of, Millennium, they actually lost to Red Reserve. It was a 3-1. It was a little bit of a shock to us as well because we were asking how that would actually end up playing out. And then they actually took down Vitality 3-1 as well. They go on, they play iGame. They actually 3-0 iGame. So they actually do pretty well. Then they go on to Elevate, and that's another close game for them. So they haven't, whereas FNATIC maybe bounced back a little bit easier, although they've had hard games as well, neither of these teams has walked through this lower bracket. No. They've had to battle all the way through after going out in the very first round of the winner's bracket. Both have made a loser bracket run, and both are going to stop either one or the other right now.
I think when I look at Millennium, we see them as one of these teams who always sort of make that loser's bracket run, don't they? They never, I mean, minus the SWC, when obviously they were under Infused, they were sort of winner's bracket all the way through and then dropped down later on. But I think they're a loser's bracket sort of team for me. I think that they ride on the momentum. I know they both come from the same point in the loser's bracket to get to this point, but I think Millennium, through that loser's bracket, have had more of a challenge than FNATIC have. Personally, you might disagree.
That's one of the things I was trying to work out when looking at those two. Who's had the harder run? I
would rather play. Well, I don't know.
I think you're wrong there. I think it's actually quite even, if anything.
Yeah, fairly even actually.
What is it? FNATIC versus Bad Games was their first game.
That's an easier game.
That's an easier game for FNATIC. We said that would be a 3-0. Millennium versus Vitality.
It's a little bit harder.
Vitality is a pretty good team. It's just not really finished yet, in my opinion. Then Millennium played iGame. And FNATIC played Supremacy in the next round. Both 3-0s. Those two are pretty much identical. We actually want to see that game take place. And then you go, your next game, that's the one that's quite hard. Yeah. Millennium versus Elevate. You could argue Millennium may have had it a touch easier there, considering that FNATIC and Red Reserve went all the way to map 5, where FNATIC's S&D won out. But it's not been easy. It's actually been a fairly similar run here. Now, when they come up against each other, that's the difference. It is going to make the difference. This is the top 3. You're going to drop the other one out of this game. You're going to have a chance to play Epsilon. FNATIC obviously want revenge. They played them in the groups. They lost in the groups. Millennium haven't had a chance yet.
One of the things I'm trying to work out as well is if this is going to be one of those series where we expect to see Millennium take most of the respawns and FNATIC with the Search and Destroys, and maybe if FNATIC can pinch the odds respawn, can they take the series? I don't know if I want to be kind of titling it like that, because we tend to always do that with FNATIC. We always say, if they get the Search and Destroys, then they'll be all right.
We do, but then they've lost a lot of Search and Destroys this weekend, so I understand why it's sort of a question mark around it, isn't it?
I can't quite work it out. I mean, I'd like to. I don't really want to keep branding FNATIC as just this Search and Destroy team. If they pinch the odd respawn, then they'll.
I think people have started to figure them out, though.
Yeah, I guess.
There have been a lot of Search and Destroys that I think they have kind of like worked out what to do. The only thing for me, I disagree. I don't think the Search and Destroys are going to go towards FNATIC. The one game mode I think will probably go towards them is probably the Uplink. That's Millennium's weakest game mode.
I can see it, but I think the problem with the Uplink on these two sides is it's going to be more kill heavy for FNATIC to win that Uplink, or I think Millennium may actually just play a little bit better. So I'm very curious to see how it goes down. Another thing I did just notice, actually, is FNATIC and Red Reserve, and I think it's Epsilon and Red Reserve, both beating Red Reserve in this tournament. Mill actually lost to Red Reserve as well. So on that theory alone, is that you'd kind of give it to FNATIC over the series, right? If you're going with that logic puzzle that we usually see.
Yeah.
It's half a dozen one, half a dozen the other. I'm sure Twitter right now is heavily debating who's going to win this one. I know in the analyst panel, it's a difficult pick. It really is a difficult pick. My heart says, well, my head says Millennium. But with FNATIC, you know, just being heavily tested by Red, I'm still leaning one way or the other. It's very difficult to pick. I want to say Millennium should take this.
I do as well. I think Millennium on a Sunday are such a different team to what they are on a Friday and Saturday in this case, of course. FNATIC for me, consistent all the way through. It is really, I would say this is definitely the hardest game of the weekend so far. Realistically, I would love to see the maps to see where we're actually going to go with this one, to see if I could try and figure out which way we're going to go.
Out of interest, who do you think Epsilon wants?
I think, I would say they'd want FNATIC. They've beat them before. You've got to have confidence going in that game.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them wanting to play them again. Although most teams like to beat every team going forward, so they probably wouldn't mind Millennium going forward. They just say, oh, we've already played FNATIC. We've already beat FNATIC. Why bother doing it twice? Right? If you've already done it once, you might as well play the other team. And that's actually just get a lot of these players' pride. Like, we'll actually beat everybody else. So there's no question.
Well, it's all about preparing for that league as well, isn't it? Like,
yeah, it most certainly is. All right. Well, it looks like this game is starting to tumble into ready mode. I know there's been a little bit of delay when the players were just sorting out an issue on the stage, but headsets are on, pads are in their hands, hands look pretty warm. Been doing that for about 25 minutes, but Stealth, I'm going to ask you to start breaking this down into an actual prediction.
Oh, I knew this was coming.
It's going to be difficult, maybe one of the most difficult predictions you've ever made, but you can only be right or wrong, 50-50 chance.
I've got to go with Millennium to win this one 3-1.
Okay. Where do they drop?
Uplink.
You're really convinced on this Uplink?
I am. I'm not convinced with Millennium's Uplink at all this weekend.
Nah,
not at all.
I think you're wrong.
All right. Well, I'm going to actually start handing it over now because this game is about to get underway. This is for top 3 here at CWL of Birmingham. It is going to be FNATIC versus Millennium. Over to our casters, Ton and Campbell.
Thank you very much, Brycey and Campbell. I don't know if you know which way this one's going to go, because I don't really know. I sort of want to lean towards Millennium, personally. I don't know which way you think.
I kind of get the idea that they're leaning towards Millennium, because Millennium have looked strong within Respawn this weekend. I think they've looked like a very strong team. We haven't had... the interesting thing is as well, because these teams dropped to the lower bracket so quickly, we haven't really had the chance to see great deals from them on this day. So today, they've been off stream, they've been over in the corners. It's only been really the reactions that we've heard from when the usual brothers get loud every single round in Search and Destroy. It's the same scream.
Distinctive.
Distinctive scream, yeah. But anyway, Millennium are going to be kicking this one off with the first few points with inside their hill. And I remember watching this map. I was watching Moose, and he had the MV4 in his hand, and he was holding down at least 30 seconds on the starting hill. But it's a little bit different this time, though, because Tommy's returning with his own MV4. Now, that's an interesting battle to talk about. Tommy versus Moose with the NV4. This time, Moose has got a K-bar, but if that ever comes out, who do you have favourite taking it? Because Tommy is just so electric with that weapon.
He is, but I think Moose is the best player on this squad. I think it's such a hard battle to call. You see, on all levels, these two teams are so close. I'm going to go with Millennium as my overall pick for this game, but I actually don't even know where FNATIC are going to lose it. That's the thing. Yeah. I just think it's just so close. I just think they'll edge it. I don't think there's any particular game mode that either one of them is necessarily much stronger at. I disagree with Stealth. Sorry, I think Millennium are going to win the Uplink. Yeah. I think that's the only positive for me. I definitely think. However, the hard points in the S&Ds, I just don't really know.
Search and Destroy, I feel maybe still FNATIC. I just hate branding them as that.
Epsilon, though, didn't they? That's the thing. They
did look very good, though, on the side station. That's one thing we can take away from that. But like you said, obviously they have lost more Search and Destroys this weekend than we've seen them normally lose at events. But anyway, 38-21 in favour of FNATIC. We're on board with Tommy here, who's been having the MV4 out for the entirety of this game so far, but does allow Nolson to slide through. Remember, Nolson, a player I spoke about a lot on the analyst test. You need to kind of pay attention to the way he moves around the map, because he does create a lot of space for the rest of his team. But Wuskins, I mean, I had Scraps come up to me earlier, and he said to me, I don't know what Wuskins is eating this morning, but whatever we fed him, we're going to feed him for Season 1.
Well, he seems to be playing well, and kills are going to come in, and it does seem as if Millennium's going to pick up them final few scraps. But if I was Nolson, I'd be getting towards Cathedral. You can see Marky B, he's got a gunfight, he needs to win, he's going to stay alive. alive, though, has his teammate with him as well, but we can see FNATIC converging on that site. We can see Moose also coming from towards bridge. He's going to get that kill there. MILLENIUM are going to lock this one down and take a lead. Off those first few hills that we've just seen, any basis on it?
Couldn't get any closer, really, could you?
That's the thing. MILLENIUM seem to have set themselves better for this Cathedral Hardpoint. We can see FNATIC just taking their time. The shot's going to go in. Wuskin, as you said, he's been fed something this morning. Working very, very well. PT does go down, still on board with Wuskin, managed to stay alive. The spawn's a little bit split, though. We have seen PT spawn all the way out, as has Moose. So this is an opportunity for FNATIC to get points on the board. There's still 30 seconds left in Cathedral, and they are getting them. But Marky B is there to say something about it. The kills are all going to come in for MILLENIUM as well, and they're going to wipe on through, and that is a good break by MILLENIUM.
Fantastic plays there by Marky B, the only player left alive, and had 3 of the players on FNATIC to deal with. He just kind of tried to stay alive, gave up the hill time, but his teammates were able to come in and help him out. But we're talking about rotations a lot in this one, and the rotation from Cathedral all the way down bridge to Broken Building is one of the most important ones, and I'm paying attention really to player number 7, which is Tommy. He is going to be inside the hill, but I expect to see him possibly back up, maybe try to hold that back spawn. It's quite important for the MV4 player to do that, but it is going to be the break that's starting to come together here. MILLENIUM trying to work their way through. One player has slipped through the line of defense. It's Moose. He's going to break in. He does find Tommy. Wow. Don't know how he was able to slip through there, but he does then create the space for his teammates to begin to push through, and just like that, MILLENIUM will take control of this hill, and it's so horrible for the other team when that happens. You know, when you give up all that scrap time, MILLENIUM are able to take the scrap time like 15 seconds and then also take the first intro time off you as well on the next hill. Not great from FNATIC here in this respawn to start off with, but Wuskins is definitely going to be the impact player that we've spoken about a lot before we went into this game. He's found another kill for him. He started this one off 9 and 7. See if he can work to possibly play around the back here, because that big kill towards the back, player number 2, which is Marky B.
Just holding so well, though, isn't it? That's
there you go. Nolson pushing out once again, finds a 2-piece. Can they break through, though? The only 2 players remaining for FNATIC. There's a 2 versus 2 as it stands. One player lying on the staircase is going to be Moose. Scraps tries to go in as well. Will trade it, tries to turn around, but no. Marky B once again will be there. A player we didn't really highlight, but one player we definitely won't forget throughout this entire series.
You know what, the thing is, it's so hard to highlight anybody in particular on both these teams, because it's so evenly matched. So the highlight, it doesn't really matter, because I think that they're so, as said, evenly matched on so many different levels that it's hard to really highlight anyone. The team to highlight at the moment, though, is MILLENIUM, who have got a substantial lead already, really held down those 2 points. I think that's the thing with Cathedral and Broken, though, isn't it? You can get so many points from that MILLENIUM executor board.
Favoring.
Yeah, the thing is that they didn't necessarily favor them initially, though. They just broke them and held them well from the start of both those hard points. Done well, but here at this moment in time, FNATIC are the ones picking it up towards Hotel Corridor.
Well, one thing to pay attention to, though, is FNATIC earlier on had the best comeback in the entire tournament in a Hardpoint game.
What was it from? I've seen the last 60 seconds
250 to 160, and they ended up, no, 240 something to 160 it was, and they ended up winning. So Supremacy needed 10 points, and it was something like 90 points, I think, FNATIC needed, and they ended up doing it. So do not count them out in any single Hardpoint that we watched this weekend. I did also talk about on the analyst desk that we have seen FNATIC have a lot of slow starts while they've been in the lower bracket, but this is probably the toughest opponent, and you wouldn't normally expect to see MILLENIUM give away that much of a lead, unlike Supremacy did earlier. But like you said, and we haven't been speaking about it, MILLENIUM definitely looking like the stronger team in this Hardpoint so far. Intro time, though, will be in favor of FNATIC. It's going to be Scraps inside the hill. May opt to use the scout up here just to push out for a little bit of intel, maybe trying to pick up a kill. Not going to happen, though, and you can see the other 3 players on FNATIC are now going to start to converge into the hill. MILLENIUM playing a little bit slow, waiting for the first pick, and Moose will find it. Scraps is going to find PT, but this is the push for MILLENIUM that we always see. Marky B once again tries to get the 3rd, but it will be Scraps that takes him down. But Nolson there, once again, that player just sneaking. That sneaky plays, as I said on the analyst desk. I don't know what that was, but anyway, he has managed to break into the hill. MILLENIUM once again going to be taking control.
Well, FNATIC want another stab at it. They're going to go for it. Moose does good down eventually. Scrapsy answering back also. So FNATIC keeping a hold of bridge. They seem to have gotten a lot of points on this one. As we look towards Lower Street, though, we can see MILLENIUM, as we just slow this one down, are setting themselves up. Let's see if they can keep it held as well. On board with Moose. Shot's going to go down the right-hand side. He gets the initial kill. FNATIC are looking for it. They're going to be coming from Hotel. Jumping out of bedroom is actually going to be Sunny B. He runs in there. He doesn't have much help from his teammates, though. MILLENIUM are in the right positions, but they need to make the kills.
Soon we'll start to see those payloads come in, and PT's found his one. It's FTL.
Wuskin.
No surprise seeing that, but Wuskins, like you said, you highlighted him, and he did make the kills. His brother alongside him, Scraps, will be assisting there to trade his death. Spawns are in favor of FNATIC. You can see MILLENIUM are spawning out over towards that bridge area. The bike path is going to be pushed out. Tommy finds a 2-piece. Scraps just comes back and snaps onto Moose, but he's pushed out a little bit too far. And look now where MILLENIUM have spawned. They have the favored spawn going into the next hill. Nolson will find the intro kill. Might make the 2-piece, but no, Tommy is going to clean that one up. But I want player number 6 to kind of Unfortunately, he died, but I wanted to see him
Tommy's
maybe
just picked up 4 in a row,
push
though.
through the lobby area. Tommy did find 4. He's on a 6 streak. Expect to see him play for those streaks because tell me, Ton, and tell everybody watching why streaks matter so much, especially on this map.
I mean, it's just so open. I think if they don't use them on Cathedral, you look towards Broken for that back guy, and that's where you want to force them out. There's so many open points on this map, so score streaks are so important, and that's a big kill from Tommy. 7 streak from him. I'd imagine we're going to be very, very close to those score streaks. He's at least going to have a Trinity rocket, and here it comes in. It's going to clean them out. It does take one of his teammates down, but getting Nelson towards the back was important. Sunny B is now on this point, and these two teams are actually going to meet up. Sunny B is there, as is Tommy. But all of Millennium are coming through from the bridge as well. Moose is actually going to pop his as well. He's going to get the first kill on Tommy as well. So there we go. Millennium should be looking for this break here. The pinch just seems to be better from them. Scraps, did answer back with a kill on the marquee, but it's not going to be enough. Pops in himself. That is a waste for me. He's all alone, and he's just trying to contest. Maybe wasted effort. I do not agree with that. That's a misplay from Scraps. Hold that for a more important time. Your team aren't with you. That's a waste from me.
Through that whole entire time, though, of Tommy's mad 8 streak, for a second, FNATIC did take the lead, but you can see now how close this one is. This is such a big game for me. FNATIC are able to take the first hard point over towards the bottom. 8 versus 1. Scraps versus Moose, and they're kind of jumping around each other, but it will be Scraps that picks it up. Therefore, holding the spawn for destroyed building. We're on board with Wuskins here. As you can see, all the players from Millennium are going to push through that bridge area, but player number 4, Nolson, is going to look to try and go through lobby and maybe attack into bar here. Wuskins will opt to back up with this one. I'm just trying to look if specialists are available. Tommy does have his specialist. But Moose and Marky B, though, on Millennium will find the first 2 kills, and now they can begin to break through as Marky B finds another one. It's all down to Scraps again. This would have been a great time for Camo, maybe, but no, he's not going to have it after what happened last time. He will go down. Millennium break in, and so far this game is incredibly close. 24 seconds remain on destroyed building, and to think as well that we're going into a very, very close quarter hill, that Camo would have been perfect next.
It would have been a really good time to have it, and Millennium just seem to be holding down where they need to. We're also definitely going to hit it over towards Hotel. Petey gets a good kill on Sunny B as well. We can see Wuskin and Tommy are making their way over there. Millennium are getting all the kills. Scraps is one of... I mean, he's pushing in there, but he knows he's probably going to respawn up towards where they want him to be. Back towards Market, not the best place. Tommy wins an important gunfight against Petey as we do move in to Hotel Hallway. Millennium in touching distance.
Here we go. Player number 2 I'm paying attention to, Marky B, because he's kind of teetering around this bedroom area. However, he gets traded, but it is going to be FNATIC, the first team inside this hill. They need to look to hold every single second of this one if they want to take the lead, and Wuskins is going to jump straight through the air, takes down Petey, and you can see player number 7, Tommy, is going to be pushed up inside bar, but this is where they're going to come from. Platt instead. It's all down to Scraps. He finds one. Kinetics popped as well, as Nolson now will look to break into the hill. The player is on the other side. Wuskins is going to get away. No, Wuskins going to go for the turn on, and Wuskins will scream as he picks up that kill. It's extremely close between these two, and it's still FNATIC inside the hill.
Sunny B keeping things alive, as was Wuskin, and it is FNATIC inside there now. They are just about to take the lead, and they have done, and all the kills are going towards FNATIC. They can't win in on this hill. We're going to go to bridge. Does Tommy still have any streaks? He does have his FTL, not really much to work with. I don't know what mark he's going to be using either. Tommy with the first kill there. We are going to see Sunny B try and come around behind. That FTL is good from Tommy. Moose is there to answer back, though. The team
again,
inside
Wuskins.
there, they were there, and Wuskins are going to win the gunfight. This is surely FNATIC's game to lose, but it is. They are going to win it. Wuskins scores massive in game number 1, 250 to 238. FNATIC comes screaming back into the game, and for me, that's Millennium. It could have been better for them, but Wuskin went massive. That 2-piece in Hotel Corridor with the turn-on was huge from him.
Yep.
And that is a disappointing first map from Millennium. They were well in the lead, in control of the game most of the way through, and on the flip of a coin, FNATIC got back into it and win the map.
The crazy thing is as well, Petey popped kinetic armor, he jumps towards Platt.
I think it was Nelson, wasn't it?
It was, oh, Nolson, yes, you were correct. It was Nolson. Nolson jumps up towards Platt. He wins the gunfight on Scraps, which is the most important one. But you expect, with the tiny little bar of kinetic armor he still had left, that when he pushed into the hill, and it was 50-50 guess, it was left or right.
Choose the right
he jumps towards the left, pre-fires the corner. Wuskins isn't there. Somehow Wuskins is able to jump out the hill, hide behind the wall, turns around, takes down Nolson. Then the rotation came in, and actually Wuskins stayed alive. He goes round the whole right-hand side of the curved wall outside bar. He pushes up with his teammate Tommy. Tommy gets killed, but there is Wuskins. Now, I think how important this is when I tell you this one.
Oh, that was Scraps,
if Wuskins had died, okay, when Nolson jumped in, he wouldn't have got the kill for the kinetic. Now, the kill that he made on Nolson gave him kinetic armor to break into the next hill after Tommy got picked.
I think it's all sort of
it's
like
so important what just happened towards the end.
It's important, but I think it's hard to play it out like
Yeah.
that. I understand what you're saying, but it was massive players either way from FNATIC. They walk away as winners of map number 1. I still actually don't know which way
this changes the whole series up for me.
Well, I don't know, because I know we go into S&D and we always say FNATIC S&D guys, but we've seen them lose maps this weekend. I think the Uplink still goes to Millennium. But the rest of these maps, I still don't know. I think FNATIC take that in such a close fashion. Yes, okay, 12 points. I know, obviously, that's still close. It's not dead to the wire close, but in the end, FNATIC win it off a good rotation and a good few kills. They went large on the last 2 hills. But for me, I still don't know which way it's going to go. It's still hard to predict. Though I still think the only thing in my mind is definitely Millennium still pick up the Uplink, but the rest of the maps, I'm not sure. Okay,
so the way my head was going into this one at the start, I expected Millennium to take the first respawn, and then I expected the series to be tied up by FNATIC. And then at that point, it was a kind of an open blowout where it was going to go. Possibly could have gone Game 5 if obviously Millennium take the Uplink. And then the Hardpoint for me was going to be close between the 2 teams. But now this has changed it for me, and I'll explain why. Because I am super confident FNATIC take this Search and Destroy. I know we've had talks about how they've been playing this weekend, but what I got to see on the side stations from individuals like Wuskins and individuals like Scraps on that S&D was insane. And I just have never heard a team communications any better than when you stand next to Tommy and his team is playing Search and Destroy. Scraps was getting extremely loud, and you know, you can think to yourself, when your team gets loud, you feed off the hype. Scraps was getting loud, and all I heard Tommy was say was, "Scraps, quiet, I can't hear." And it's like,
well, that's the thing is that's the way that hype can go. Isn't it? It's like communication breaks down because you can't actually hear your teammates because they're just shouting. But at the same time, I think you need to control that a little bit. I understand players do feed off that, but in the same respect as I know we talk about FNATIC's S&D game, yes, they have been playing it fantastically well. Millennium are a very good squad, irrelevant of what game mode we're playing here, and I think, yes, I understand how it does switch it up. I did think Millennium would take that map too.
Okay, does it change your opinion then if FNATIC do take this Search and Destroy? Do you feel that the Uplink still goes to Millennium if they're 2-0 down in the series?
Yes, I think irrelevant, it still goes to Millennium.
No matter which way this goes, Millennium.
No matter which way, I still think that they take the Uplink.
Okay.
But, you know, actually saying that, I know that FNATIC, one of their best game modes, well, their best game mode is Dallas was Uplink. So, I mean, it is still that close. For me, though, that is the only differential. I do think Millennium are a better Uplink team than FNATIC. I think they're toe-to-toe on the other maps. The other maps and game modes, we have more of them. So, I don't need to tell you that, obviously. But, you know, it's just part of my point, is that those hardpoints and S&Ds, I do not know which way they're going to go. 4 out of 5 maps, I haven't got a clue. The first one goes to FNATIC. I think the third one definitely goes to Millennium, but the other 3 maps still up in the air for me.
The other thing for me as well, throughout this entire weekend, we normally have been saying, obviously, we've had the chance to cast a lot of. Are you okay there? Did you just
whacked my foot? I've taken my shoes off. I've been standing up and casting all day. I've just hit my foot off the chair.
Oh dear.
We're all right. We're injured. Sub, ref. No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
At least you can still cast, hey? Awesome. Well, anyway, going into this one, going into this one, though, the one thing I was kind of talking about was we're getting distracted while we're trying to do our job here as well. Foot injuries and all this lot. I'm so excited for this one. I don't even know which way this one's going to go. Actually, yes, I do. I'm saying it's FNATIC.
Oh, so you're going to stop sitting on the fence now, are you? Is that how it is? I've not been. I still think Millennium are going to win this one. You know, I just think that's the way it's going to go. Search and Destroy, though, we are going to see a nice rotation by Millennium to actually get themselves into a good position round 8. They are going to get the first kill there. Tommy does answer back, and you know we haven't seen Scorch this weekend too much. It's the first time for me actually on live stream, but Tommy in a good position. They need to retake the bomb site.
Yeah, one of the strategies I've seen a lot this weekend is this bomb planted at A and everybody backing up kind of just to
2v3.
Defend A long, but yeah, like you said, 2v3, Marky B coming around on the flank. They might not be next to each other, Marky B and Moose, so
that's worked out
if
so
one of them dies, they could end up not being in a tradable position, but like you said, it does end up working out for them. Player number 1, I'm paying attention to Moose as he goes up on the wall run. He might be able to play aggressive, not going to stay alive though.
They think Mark's behind them. They think Mark's behind them, that's the thing.
You still have to look for the defuse has started.
He's going to get it. Marky B gets the kill, and that's going to be the round. That's massive from Marky B. The first kill that he gets, really good. He rotates around there because they know that Nelson is towards bridge. He rotates around. They're both there. Sorry, it was Moose. Moose goes down. They still think Marky B's behind, which they should rightly think so because it would be a good area to pinch from. Gets himself in a great position. Gets the bomb. Defuse that first round of Millennium. Well executed as well.
Yep, that is correct. Millennium taking that first round, and it was well played by the veteran Marky B. Clever search and destroy skills there. Anyway, we're switching sides now. FNATIC are going to be the offensive team. Player number 8 is going to be the designated bomb carrier. And you take a look at the minimap here and this type of push here. Looks like it's going to be the B push coming in here. Such an awkward bomb really to get down because you kind of have to take control of the other side before you can get the bomb down. So look for Tommy to be that player that maybe
trying to PS through the middle, isn't he? That's the thing.
Maybe just fly out when his teammates do get control of this side. Player
they do have control.
Yeah, Sonny B is inside there, but player number 3, which is actually going to be PT, he's in a great position because I think if we go on board with him, he should be looking through the window as he's actually going to move now.
Well, they're all going to move over to the bomb site anyway, as the bomb isn't quite down yet. They have thought about Sonny B, opens things up, as does Scraps, though, taking down PT and Marky. Answers back is Nolson. Sonny B does take down Musto, and Nolson's in a terrible situation. He goes down. FNATIC never... I mean, Millennium give up control to then push back in, but FNATIC aren't even planted. They're just waiting for that retake to come from Millennium, who maybe made it a little bit too early. They know they're there, but I mean, it's one of those situations where obviously when we can see what's going on, it's very easy for us to talk about that. But in the end, it works out for FNATIC. They take the round 1 apiece.
For me as well, I just want to see how far this FNATIC team can go. I just don't know how far they can go as a team. We keep saying it, every single event they keep getting better and better and better and better. I mean, eventually, are we just going to say FNATIC are your grand final champions? Like, how far are this team going to go?
Nah. We'll talk about that later.
Well,
I think it's hard to say. I don't think they have the caliber, unfortunately. I think they're a good squad.
Okay.
You look at the Splice squad, though, I think you don't replace a single player on that team.
Okay.
Anyway, but we'll not divulge. We'll not divulge. Back into the game. Tommy looking for a pick through mid. Might be getting very aggressive. He's going to have to back off down. Has to be careful not to be picked from behind. And an aggressive line from FNATIC. Millennium playing this one slow.
Player number 2, though, Marky B, is in a good position. This is a big and good engagement, but Sonny B will always win that with the ERAD in those close quarter engagements. Wuskins will come through as well. Fine, PT. You can see the Millennium players now backed up all the way, not in a tradable position whatsoever. I don't really think I agree with the place from Moose. He's going to go by himself with the bomb if he drops it here as well. Sonny B is going to know exactly where it is. Surely that's called out. And I don't know if I really agree with them kind of pushing by himself. You can see, though, Nolson will throw himself off the map. Does not want to feed streaks or payload to the other team.
I think Millennium set themselves up there. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, I think Millennium set themselves up because they expect a FNATIC rush, and it just never happened. And then they're not really in a good position to.
But I don't really understand that play towards the end, though. Like Moose kind of just gifting the kill to Sonny B.
He did really gift it.
Who already has taken his teammate Marky down, and so knows he's in that position with an ERAD. I don't know, but these are the players where the casters. I mean, Moose, we can't really argue with Moose's kind of game
knowledge. Not. Absolutely not. But it was a wrong decision, but I think the round was probably a bit of a formality at that point anyway. But moving into this one, we haven't really seen too much of an attack from B. Tommy picks that first blood again. It just seems to be a FNATIC first blood every single time. PD does answer back, though. He's traded that out, so that's okay for Millennium. They'll take that. But we can see during that interval, FNATIC have had the chance now to push towards that bomb site. Grenades coming in, they're just about surviving them. They're waiting for the push to come from Millennium, but are Millennium even going to make that push? We can see that Marky is trying to push behind, staying with Scraps up. They're just trying to make a decision on what they want to do, as are Millennium. 1 and 3 are there. That is Moose and PD. Just taking this one slowly. The engagement will eventually come. Has Wuskin seen him behind? I think he has. That's going to allow one of the team have to make a decision. They have to make a decision on what they're going to do. As the Millennium, do they check this? Do they wait? It's a hard place to be.
Well, I expected to see a pinch come in there, but no, it's not going to be the case.
So tempting.
Players will group up with each other. Now, Sonny B is in an interesting position because if anybody does try to linger through this area, I do like it, though, because you can see his teammates on the minimap as well have decided to change up the way they're going about it. PT maybe have locked onto the idea that's coming along here. We'll hit the war run. Marky B just waiting to see one player. He does. Actually, don't think he did. It was Scraps. Moose will find Sonny B, though, the player that was kind of lingering over in that B-bomb area. We're 10 seconds, though. There's not going to be enough time to plant now as Scraps does drop the bomb, and Wuskins, you've got a 1v2, but you've only got 4 seconds to do it. You will eventually go down. Now,
where's the decision making?
Yeah, here's an interesting thing I want to kind of put out to everybody. So, FNATIC have normally been hitting the B bomb site. Now, the reason for this is because Sonny B has been so versatile in being aggressive inside that ops area. Millennium, on the other hand, would rather push A because they have better strength in their ARs when they back up A long. So that's one thing to pay attention to. I expect Millennium to go more towards A and mid map, and FNATIC so far have gone towards more mid and B. But let's see which type of push is going to come in here.
It's going to be a look by the looks of it. Although, no,
maybe might switch it up.
They are going to go to B. But now we can see FNATIC really committing to that B bomb site, and they've got that. So it's going to be a hard push now for Millennium. They're going to have to make a decision. They're playing the slow one again. They're doing the same as they did on the last attacking round. They're just allowing them to push. Tommy does get a little bit of a hit marker there as he does push on through. So Millennium are going to know what to do now, but FNATIC are going to read that nicely, saying that Millennium seem to be pushing through mid, on board with Moose, seeing which way he can go with this one. Does have his teammates in tow with him as well. If they can pierce through this mid-map, it's going to cause problems, and they're going to be able to. The trades should come in. PD is going to get the kill onto Wuskin. Is Marky going to get caught off guard? He's surely going to see the gun. He is taking down Tommy as well. So that's going to be a hard situation for FNATIC to be in now. Millennium have played that slow, methodical, and they played it well.
Over towards B is the area then that bomb's going towards, and it is going to go down for Moose. It's going to be a player caught towards the back here, though, but Scraps will drop. PT will find him. Sunny B does come through with the E-Rad. He's really, really good at close quarter, but not going to be able to take down 3 players, though, and that is going to be 3-2 in favor of Millennium. This one is completely back and forth between these two teams. I mean, I still favor FNATIC in this one. You looking towards Millennium a little bit more now?
Well, it seems. See, that's the thing with this game. It just it is the hardest question of this game because it could literally go either way. I am being very, very arrogant on the fact that I think Millennium are going to win the uplink, and I'm sticking with that point. The other maps I still don't really know. It's very slender either way. Millennium's still in the lead here now, though. And what I feel is a very tentative S&D game, this one. Both these teams don't really want to make any mistakes. Nobody making any decisive decisions, but it seems as if FNATIC are making that one now as we see Wuskin run on through with the rest of his teams. It has to be a trade game. That's all it's going to be. There's a Scarab coming in, though, which is going to cause problems for FNATIC. And it's both teams get away unscathed somehow. Not quite. Moose does take down Tommy.
It was no surprise for me seeing FNATIC decide to go through mid-map as well, because the team has been getting through there the whole time. Look at how many times Tommy has made it through, but there's an FTL that comes through. It's not going to be doing anything. PT does take down Scraps, actually, apologise. Wusky, wow, should have read his name. Wuskin, sorry, will get the trade, and it's going to be Sunny B and Wuskins versus Marky B and Nolson. The bomb is down, though. You can see he was there, left there by Scraps. And now the closest player to it, though, is actually going to be player number 5, which I do think is not Sunny B, which I think is Wuskins. So they are going to go and collect the bomb.
Not very long here.
25 seconds left. Eventually, though, Millennium surely will realize this is not the chosen site.
But are FNATIC going to be set up for it? There's 20 seconds to go. What is the decision that Millennium make? Do they go and check it? They have to, but they have to move together, and I think they haven't positioned themselves well to check that bomb site. The bomb goes down. Nelson and Marky need to retake this now, and to see the setup is very, very nice from Wuskin in a fantastic position as we go on board with Marky in a 1 versus 2, and this is a hard place for him to be. Got 30 seconds to play with. Spots 1. Going to make the decision where to shoot. He is going to shoot. Is he going to know that guy's there on the right-hand side? I think he is, and he's not in a fantastic position. 25 seconds to go. He has to have a go at it, though. He's going to make the first kill. Is he going to be able to make the second as well? Surely he's going to spot him. Marky B dropping off on the gunfight. Not going to be able to win it with the E-Rad in that close quarters.
Do you know what,
these rounds are so tense.
I didn't actually expect Sunny B to be so confident there and actually just push that one. You can see Marky B has well fought at the top of his head. There was every possibility Marky B could have won that gunfight between those two players, but Sunny B with the confidence, with the E-Rad in hand, does push him out, and this one's tied 3-3 once again. But as I was saying at the start of that round, I wasn't surprised to see FNATIC go through mid-map, because Tommy, for the entire game so far, has had so much control in that area. Nobody really on Millennium has stopped Tommy from pushing that mid-map area. Let's see if once again that is something that Tommy goes for, just tries to sit towards mid-map. Looks like it will be the case. Player number 7, Tommy, once again pushed up. He's been having so much fun in this mid-map area that has been gifted to him every single time.
Yes, to be careful, though, because I think Millennium are going to start reading this. See the grenade being cooked. It's going to be put onto him. Tommy's going to have to back off with a slither of hell. Marky B takes down Scraps at the same time as well, so it does seem as if, Millennium is going to push on through, and they are going to go through the heart of FNATIC. 3 members do go down. Wuskin's the only member to get a kill, and suddenly Sunny B is left all alone in a 1 versus 3. It goes down. This is backwards and forwards. 4-3 to Millennium.
And this next round for me is the most important one. Millennium take this, and I think they probably do take the Search and Destroy. They'll be in that 1 round away. You can't obviously forget about FNATIC and their insane comebacks that they've been doing this entire weekend, but this round is so big. You know, you've got to think as well, if this goes 5-3 Millennium, we're going to start to see payloads very, very soon as well, so they might be able to close the game out with payloads.
That's the thing.
I want to have a look as well if anyone is close or if anyone does actually have one, but you can see Sunny B incredibly close, Scraps incredibly close, Marky B's close to his as well.
Marky might, no, he's not running FT, I think that's
no, Marky's kinetic, I think. If we just double check what Marky B's running. So Centurion, okay.
Oh, hold on, but we do see FNATIC pushing on through. That is a great grenade by Marky, but he needs help from the rest of his team. Doesn't get a kill as well there. Tommy's going to trade that one out. Sunny B comes on through as well. Moose gets a kill on Tommy, who must have been weak. Now, I think you're Millennium. These 2 players need to take their time to try and retake this one. A must-win round for FNATIC.
Bomb does go down as well.
Pushes on through, makes 1 kill. Is going to get a second, does have that active, doesn't choose to use it, but he doesn't need it. Nelson's going to come in there and clean things up. How is this 3v2 when in Millennium's favor? 5-3 is now going to be the score, and a perfect retake from Millennium. And FNATIC.
How did that end up happening?
Nelson, I think Moose must have pushed through, made the first kill. Nelson just covers him brilliantly, gets the kill on the player that he was shooting at Moose, And then it's a 2 versus 1 situation. Shake of the head from Sunny B, rightfully so. That is a round they should not have lost.
Big play coming in from Nolson there. He finds the kill towards the back, turns around and snaps on the other player that is going to be in the Warren area, and they do give him the defuse as well. I would assume that is either for streaks or for the payload. Let's have a look at this one then. I said it was going to be a crucial round for FNATIC, and MILLENIUM ended up taking it. They can take the search and destroy here if they win this next round. Moose has the active camo. So does Scraps. Sunny B pops his Centurion. I think it's Sunny B that has Centurion that's just gone down on B, but Scraps has popped camo, I think, and he will be pushing up with it as well. I think, pretty sure Scraps is the camo player. It was, and it's once again another Scraps camo play that has been wasted. We saw it in the Hardpoint as well. Sunny B put the Centurion down. I don't know where, but Sunny B doesn't even need a Centurion. If he's got an E-Rod in his hand, he is going to find the 2 kills. It's now a 2 versus 2. Nolson and Marky B. Tommy and Sunny B. Tommy is behind with an E-Rod. His shots come in, and eventually will clear up Nolson. Let's go on board with Marky B, though. He's in the 1 versus 2, and the Centurion is actually down on a bomb. Marky B goes anywhere near there, they will know where he is.
Marky B, it's going to be a very hard round for him to win. Both these players playing so close to each other. He is going to get his Centurion as well, but that's not really going to help him too much. Tommy loses sight of him, so now a 1 versus 1. Can this once again, the round that was looking like
two veterans versus each other in the 1v1.
2, though, 30 seconds remaining. Marky B, can he win this round for FNATIC? Both these teams making the decision on what to do. Mark, does he want to plant? Oh, if he goes towards
A, there's a Centurion.
It's going to be there, but is Tommy going to be close enough? He's going to check B, surely. Or is Mark going to wait? Which way is this going to go?
He's got a plan. He's got a plan.
He doesn't know which way to go with it. Both these players don't know what to do.
Oh, he's played for the kill.
He's played for the kill.
And Tommy is going to stay alive. FNATIC are going to take that round. Can you imagine if Tommy had gone to bomb check and Marky B had found it? There's so many situational plays that could have happened there.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's a tough one to call because if he goes to plant on the bombs, there's a 50-50 chance that Tommy could be there.
Oh, yeah.
I think in those sort of situations...
I mean, that just proves veteranship, though, between those two.
Oh, yeah, they're both
game knowledge to just try and work each other out, try and break the master plan of the other one. Right, this is interesting, though. It's going to be a 3-man hard push, I think, towards the B-bomb area.
Yeah.
You can see Tommy has the FTL to use as well. E-Rad it in hand. Very, very talented search and destroy player himself as well.
Well,
Scarab comes out. Player number 4 is calling it in. It's Nolson who's calling that one in. See if he will be able to actually pick anybody up with it. You can see it's just Cypher to Tommy. He's just going to pick that one off. Make sure it doesn't affect any of his teammates. Now, is the bomb going down? I don't think so. Ruskin's player number 5 has it in his hand. They're kind of just waiting to see if any players from MILLENIUM peek first. This one could go to round 11-0 somehow. Somehow Tommy has stayed alive. Somehow he's found a kill as well. It will be traded. Nolson takes him now. Now we're in a 3 versus 3. Sunny B pushed up once again, but Moose, a big impactful player we spoke about in the Alliance test, he finds a very important kill for the boys on MILLENIUM. It's the 3 versus 2, like I said. You can see Scraps has begun to back up. He's just making sure that nobody from behind is flanking. Ruskin's in the corner that we've seen him in before, but now you can say he's kind of pinned and trapped. He's going to get taken down. Scraps, it's all down to you. Kind of the hopes of this search and destroy game really do depend on you. Can you take us to around 11? The bomb is down. I think the MILLENIUM guys know whereabouts it is as well. One player towards your left-hand side. His kinetic armor that comes through. MILLENIUM are going to be taking the game number 2, 6-4, and kind of proving me wrong in that one.
You know, for me, it's one of them. You just do not know with these two squads which way this one's going to go. For me, potential misplay from Scraps again with that active camo to not use it. I think it's such a tough game to call. These two teams are so close.
I can't wait to see the scoreboard on this one as well.
But MILLENIUM, again, that round that they probably shouldn't have won, where the bomb's down in there, 3 versus 2, and they somehow pull it out the bag. In the end, that's probably the definitive round.
Look towards it.
Look, 8-8-8-6. So really good way by everyone on MILLENIUM. Not really anybody letting it down. Sunny B had a fantastic game on FNATIC side of things, but just
take a look at Moose as well. Good OBJ work from him. 2 plants on that side. Now Wuskins, we were kind of highlighting him as a great search and destroy player coming into this one. 4-8. Not the best from him there. But the series is tied up. Now, Uplink is the one that we're going to go into next. And we've been kind of throughout this entire series having a conversation back and forth. And you're very, very confident that MILLENIUM take this Uplink.
Yeah.
Still the same? Yep. Completely agreeing with that one?
Yep.
Okay, then it's Precinct as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
yeah, I do. Well, I think that FNATIC have got don't get me wrong, I think they've got a fair chance on it, but I think MILLENIUM is definitely the stronger Uplink team. I've been reiterating it so many times. Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, I don't know which way any of these go. I think, you know, Uplink for me is the only one where I sort of have a good idea of who I think will win it. But the other 4 maps, I really don't know. We're one apiece at this moment in time, though. And I have absolutely no doubt that we could potentially be going to Game 5 here.
Yeah, the other thing is as well, we're definitely seeing a Game 4 now as well, and it's breakout hardpoint. Now, that map as well is just so back and forth. Like, you really can just, like, either hold it for, you're trying to work, I think you're trying to ponder, aren't you, who won breakout hardpoint, who's been doing it?
Who will win breakout?
You're right, okay, so I got the chance to, obviously the game that wasn't on stream last night, Millennium versus Red. That went to breakout hardpoint. And Millennium looked strong on it. They looked
it doesn't
very
surprise
strong.
me. I think their ARs are better than FNATIC's.
Oh, you're going to say they are better than Tommy with an AR?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think Moose...
That's confidence.
I've seen Moose drop 55 kills on
That's
this
true. That's true.
I
think you're allowed to say that someone's better than Tommy when you're looking at a player like Moose.
I mean, absolutely. I think Moose is one of the best players in Europe, no doubt. I think outside of Splice, he's the best player.
And Marky B as well. Marky B with an AR. He can,
he
do his fine things
he can
as
run
well.
with the best, but I honestly think, you look at that Splice squad, I don't think you can really necessarily improve it. I think Moose is probably the definitive player outside of that. I don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees with me, but I don't know what you think yourself, but I think he's definitely there. Through the consistency, I know we had the conversation about Nolson, maybe. Yes, he's had a good event, but he's up and down. Moose constantly putting up the big numbers, and when he does, Millennium win games. I've seen him do it on Breakout before. I think Millennium now take the Series 3-1, now that I've seen the maps.
Really?
Yep, that's it. I'm calling it.
Well, there you go then. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tun said that Millennium will take
decisive
3-1.
You say I don't.
Throughout the entire
no
series, it's been a bit and now you're just going, no,
I know,
you know
because
what?
I didn't see the maps, mate.
You know what? You're like, this is it now. Millennium. Taking FNATIC down.
But I could be completely wrong.
Well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I was wrong in the Search and Destroy. I honestly thought FNATIC wouldn't lose that one. But anyway, here's Scraps on your cameras. Still looking calm, still looking composed. It's only 1-1. But, you've got to be thinking that I kind of do have to agree with you in a way on going into this Uplink. Now, the last time I got to watch Precinct Uplink, apart from this event, was Millennium versus United. And that one went all the way. And the United, obviously, you could say it's definitely up there. It's probably one of the best teams in
top 3.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's Optic
and
United.
Yeah, and Millennium looked incredibly strong on this map, even against the likes of an opponent like United as well.
They're such a teamwork team there, and they've got those players who can be exposed. I think we forget about Petey quite a lot.
Petey?
He's one of these guys.
The sub-player.
Yeah,
in your face.
You let him off the leash.
Yeah.
And, I'm coming out here with me beard.
It's like Marky B. Marky B and Moose just help him get to where he needs to be, and then when he's there, just like, go! And
what disappoints me more than anything is that Nelson definitely can't grow a beard. That's why he hasn't got
one.
The rest of the team have it.
Wow.
Why don't you? Anyway, moving in the Uplink on Precinct.
It's one of the contract reasons for joining Millennium. You must grow a beard. You must look more manly.
Moving into this, though, I'm still siding with Millennium. They look strong in the S&D. The hardpoint went down to the wire. I think here on this game, they can control it more. But again, I don't think it's if FNATIC were into this map, I wouldn't be completely surprised.
Here's the question. Blowout, close.
Close, always close. I just think Millennium are definitely, for me, I think I side with them on this map.
Well, there you go. The predictions came in from Tun, and also we'd love to hear your predictions as well. Get involved in us with social media, but the game is finally here and it's begun, and it's going to be a big battles going down straight away for that drone control, and it will be FNATIC that do manage to get 3 down. Looks like it'll be a gas push. They begin to push out towards his left-hand side. We normally see a lot of one-point throws coming from here. Sunny B will line it up, and it's going to be FNATIC with the first point on the board for their team. Tommy's still alive as well. Wuskins has managed to find his way through. He's going to wait for the one player just in front of him here, and if Wuskins can stay alive in this area, he's going to make the Millennium guys have to look for him and maybe give up more drone control.
But that's what they do. They need to get rid of him at tickets, because now they can't have to give up gun control. Wuskin, what's that flicky movement? MV4 in hand, doing a lot of damage, and it's allowed his team to push up through ticket. Millennium have to sit back, they have to defend, and they have to clean out tickets. But here it comes. Scraps is going to go in with the drone. Fantastic position. FNATIC.
Oh,
he's missed it. He's missed it.
But Wuskins got 3.
He gets 3, and they've cleaned it up. Really good play by FNATIC. I was too busy concentrating that he missed the drone, but they've done fantastically well. Wuskins has started this game fantastically. I am so wrong.
What's going on in this series? So many impactful plays. Yes, he did miss the 1 point.
Wow.
But what happened was because
they need to
Wuskins
get tickets back.
Yeah, because Wuskins was in that area. I was talking about it. If they don't have that control, they're going to be looking for him rather than paying attention. To the drone. The drone did get missed, but when Wuskin found the 3-piece, they were able to dunk it through for the 2. At least Moose will finally pick up a kill inside the drone area. A Scarab comes through as well. Moose still just bashes the Scarab out of the way, finds a 2-piece. He's still looking for even more kills. There's the 3rd. He's going to try and find the 4th as well. No way. Moose Oscar gets all these kills, but at least PT is there to help him. And now they can begin to move the drone out more towards the FNATIC portal. See if they can get some points on the board. Moose with it in hand here. Lead blockers are set up. Marky B comes through. Drone gets thrown down. Marky B needs to find one more kill for these points to go on. He's jumping around up in the air. The drone goes through though, and the 1 point gets intercepted by Tommy, and it's thrown out. This game is back and forth. It's so close, but it is FNATIC that still hold the lead.
And they've overextended here, Millennium, a little bit. If Sonny B can get, I think obviously we can see towards the top left, it really overextended. If Sonny B had grabbed that drone and thrown it towards Tickets, it would have spelled trouble for Millennium. They really need to start waking up in this game. Really good interception by Tommy. FNATIC will play phenomenally already through this map. But suddenly Tommy is left all alone on his own, and they're running it down this park side. And this should be a 2. It's looking that way now. They should put this one in. They're going to as well. I don't think the relay will be possible at all. Moose is still going to keep that pressure on this. What Scraps was doing towards Tickets.
He won that.
He, honest to God, is one of the best players in Europe, and he's proven it time and time again on this game. On board with Tommy now as well. He's going to try and push this one forward. Sonny B makes the kill. And Nelson not going to clean that one up, but the jumps are all over the place. Eventually gets the kill. Marky B's there. The one is in though. FNATIC suddenly just out of nowhere get another 1 point on the board. That is unfortunately though, because they don't have any control. Scraps is just going to try and
slow no, Scraps.
he
pulls the boxing gloves out.
He does the right thing there. He keeps control of the mid-map. They have control of that.
There's only a handful of players that can run at another pro player with a butt drone and just try to win the gunfight that way. And Scraps is definitely one of those. But yeah, Jerd as well yesterday had his fine share of boxing moves. But anyway, we're going to be seeing what can happen here with the remaining 1 minute and 35 seconds. Tommy, though, will force the ball out towards the right-hand side. Expect Wuskins to once again try to get himself into the position that he dominated so well at the start. Marky B finds the kill, though, and stops Wuskins in his path. Now you can see Millennium will... I'm trying to work out if they actually rotate this one or just reset the drone. I don't know which way they're going to do. Maybe see a rotation coming in, though, and it looks like it will be the call. Nolson taking it this way. His lead blocker Moose will be there.
Gets a kill up towards Sonny B around the back as well. Marky B can cause problems here. Going to push on through, and he's going to hold this, so FNATIC are going to have to fight their way out of this one. Wuskin is going to get the kill on Marky B, and that is really big. He needs the rest of his team
he's still
to cover his
through this way, though.
How the hell has he managed to get all the way through there? Really good movement by Nelson to get that point on the board. 5-3 is now the score.
It's so difficult as well around that certain part of the portal, because you know the little uplink kill sign that follows.
Coming in.
Because the kill sign's got a delay, you just lose the player so easily around that area. But anyway, Sonny B does have the drone in his hand. Wuskin's trying to push up again, trying to get into a position to cause problems for Millennium, but he does get taken down, and this could be a possible another wrap coming in here if they can get these big important kills here. It's going to be Scraps alongside his brother Wuskins. They need to try and stop this Millennium push coming through. Scraps still inside this corner towards the left-hand side. Does take PT down. Marky B will trade it out, but it looks like the base is clear for now. And in terms of drone control, it's in favor of FNATIC as well. But it looks like they may go into this one with the lead. Will it be any more of a lead, though? That's the question, because Tommy is going to try and make that happen. They're going to force out towards the left-hand side. The one could come in if Tommy can get it off. It's not going to happen, though. Marky B there with 2 kills. Moose will find the other one. The last player from FNATIC should go down, but no, Wuskin somehow finds the 2-piece. This half is over, though, and FNATIC, surprisingly for both of us, I think, are in the lead.
They are in the lead, and I think they well and truly deserve it. I think that start was fantastic. As soon as they got hold of Tickets, Millennium just didn't clear it out. Scraps full, compliments to him and how he held that one down. But I think Millennium need to clear that, and they need to clear it faster next time. They will know this time, though. We know Millennium can do that themselves. This game is far from over. Only a 1-possession game. 5-3 is to FNATIC. Now, which way is this one going to go? Both teams heading towards the center, going to try and battle for control. Nobody towards Tickets.
Nobody up towards Tickets. That's an interesting play.
Oh, and the kills are going to come in favor of Millennium as well. They're just cleaning house all over the place. Tommy is far too overextended. This could be at least a point. And they push them, though. They're going to spawn towards Tickets, so it will only be a point unless the kills can actually just come in. They're just going to dive it in. Really good play by Millennium. We can see their setup and Tickets are doing the exact same thing. Wuskin needs to stay alive. He gets the turn. He's just about staying alive, but he's kept his team in some sort of control here. We have seen Nelson. He's still towards gas station as well, so he's going to be causing problems there. Good work by Sonny B inside of Tickets, so he's cleaned that one out. Nelson currently in no man's land. All he's going to do is slow down the FNATIC push.
The biggest kill there for me was Sonny B making those base kills.
Oh, yeah, it was really big.
Or maybe you could have seen Nelson and his teammate working together to kind of build a relay going, but we're once again tied back up again between these two teams, really battling it out. The series is tied as well. This is game 3 if you've just joined us. PT, though, inside the drone. He's going to be now Marky B just waiting to see if he can come along and assist this one, but no, Sunny B just flies in with so much confidence. Moose drops as well. Marky B goes down. This could be more points. It's only going to be Nolson, the last player alive. His teammates, though, fortunately, will spawn right next towards him. Maybe a one can come in. It's going to be going up in the end. They couldn't release it in time. Sunny B does drop it. It will get reset, and this one stays torn 5-5.
Really good defense by MILLENIUM. Held fast. Nolson was in an important position just to shut down any sort of aggression from FNATIC. And now we are seeing FNATIC set up again. MILLENIUM are still pinned in their base just that little bit. They are going to try and fight out, though. Wuskin does get the kill on the Moose, who did get the kill on the Scraps. That looks good for a 1, and it is. FNATIC take the lead once again, 6-5 now. Nolson and Co have battled out this time, though. They have stopped FNATIC. They had pushed them in. Now they have control of middle drone. Nolson needs to make this kill. Windy shot. Somebody shut the whip. All right. Crazy.
Sunny B was peeking his head a little bit too far there, and Nolson just slapped it off and was able to get the kill. Nolson, though, still inside here. That's a big kill if he can get it. They are going to start to kind of trap him in here, though. Nolson somehow does find the 2-piece.
He's just slowed down the FNATIC.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very, very important that he's done that now. The rest of MILLENIUM push themselves out from the position they were in, and they are going to push on forward. You see that the drone has went towards Tickets. Petey gets the kill. Marky B is now in an important position. If he can make this kill, it's going to be massive. He is going to get shut down, and everything is shut down from MILLENIUM. FNATIC are now going to push on out through towards Cat Statue.
And every single time it looks like either FNATIC are going to push, they get stopped by MILLENIUM. Every single time MILLENIUM push, they get stopped by FNATIC. So really, it's great base defense for kind of between both of these teams.
But it works in FNATIC's favor because they're the ones in the lead.
Yeah, that is very, very true. However, Tommy did just use his specialist there, FTL. You could see maybe a pass comes in, but Tommy's going to opt to go for slaying power instead. The one goes up, and no. Sunny B falls a little bit too short on that one. There's still every possibility that if he makes one kill here, or he could have maybe got towards it, though, but I think these MILLENIUM players are now so
Scraps has made the kill, though. The drone's still there. Oh, he's going to shut him down just in time. They are just about going to shut that down. Wuskin is in a bad position to do anything. He is going to be able to go around behind them, but that 1-point miss will FNATIC go on to rue that
what
opportunity
specialist did Sunny B just use then to get there so quickly? I want to know, because Sunny B has wasted it. It might have been overdrive, yeah. I think he tried to get towards the drone using the overdrive specialist, and actually ended up losing it in the process. So hopefully that doesn't come back to be a problem. But anyway, FNATIC, you can see, are pushing up this left-hand side. They make 3 kills. Scraps the only player left alive. Now Marky B once again has been doing that for the entire series. Here comes the overdrive play, though. Is it going to be breaking into glass immediately? The players coming from back alley for FNATIC. Marky B, is it going to be a 2? Goes for the 1 instead. Plays it safe, and it will now tie this game up once again.
Marky B still alive, causing problems there. It's allowed Nolson to push up. He's going to push in there and try and get control of Tickets. MILLENIUM have the drone. He's causing problems. Wuskin cannot get rid of him. Let's see. No specialists or payloads available at all. The kills are actually going to go in favor of FNATIC, so we reset once again with only a minute to go. Can anyone take this one here? Kelmo, we are poised on a knife edge. 6-6 now.
6-6 now, yeah, and only 55 seconds remaining as well on this one. Nolson and Moose find the first kills, though. PT does find Wuskin. It's down to Sunny B, though, and there's not really much base control. You can see Tommy trying to push outside of this alleyway. Player number 3 is a player that I'm paying attention to because if a manual pass comes through, maybe he could have got it, but no. Another great kind of show there of good base defense coming in. This is coming down to the wire. The odd point could get thrown in. 33 seconds remaining, and it looks like if anyone's going to score the points, it'll be MILLENIUM. Marky B pushes out towards the left. You can see player number 4, Nolson, just waiting to find kills before he goes for the drone. The drone is still down. I don't know if it's trapped, actually. Neither team has gone to pick it up yet. I think it may have been trapped. It has reset now towards the middle. They could take it towards the left here. He needs to come through. He gets taken down, and it is going to go out towards the left. It's going to be down to Tommy.
Nolson.
No, Nolson comes through big. Tommy needs to make 1 kill. No! Nolson finds it. That is such important kills coming in from Nolson. Massive impact player that you don't really see. I did speak about it, but no, the 1 point. Oh, maybe Marky B was going to get it off. Finally, FNATIC will clear the base, and this was tied 6-6. It's gone back and forth between these two.
Huge plays coming out of everyone. Nolson with a massive 3-piece towards the end. In the middle, I think it was mostly down to FNATIC. They were rushing it. They were pushing on hard, and they had to because there wasn't enough time left, and Nolson's there is just a clean house. 6-6. We go into overtime. We said that this game will be close. It couldn't be closer right now. Moving into it. Predictions. Come on, give me one.
Okay, let me see the specialist. Let me see the specialist. Who's got specialists?
Nobody. Wuskin's
close to kinetic.
Okay, that changes things. Nolson not far off himself.
I'm going to say FNATIC. Okay, I've made it. I've said FNATIC.
Right, well, okay, that might not be too bad of a decision now. There's 3 members to actually go down. Moose is going to make 1 kill. They're going to push on through. This should just be a 1 from FNATIC in very, very quick time, though.
19 seconds.
Oh, dear, that is a very, very hard game for MILLENIUM to win.
Right, this is how it plays out this next game, this next part. Wuskin gets 1 kill. he pops kinetic, and he goes into the drone
that's
area.
Gonna be
that's
it,
what I reckon is going to happen.
That's what he has
Unless
to
he
do.
already has it. He did just get killed towards the end there, but if Wuskins has got kinetic armor, I expect to see him just fly into the drone control and try and
Nelson
kill.
got it? Did Nelson get a kill?
Well, yeah, Nelson was close as well, wasn't he? Let's have a look and then at the specialist as we go into this one. Wuskins has got it. Nelson yet to. Expect to see him pop this, just slide through, completely slay inside the drone area. You can see all 4 players of MILLENIUM are already inside. He pops it. He does use it. The drone gets out though, and it's going towards Owen Tarl. PT might be able to get the one off. Not going to happen. It's all down to Nelson, and no! We were both wrong on both occasions. I thought the S&D would go FNATIC. MILLENIUM took it. You thought MILLENIUM would take the Uplink. FNATIC took it. And boy, we have a series. It's 2-1 to FNATIC.
That is a huge win for FNATIC in this game. All my predictions are based on MILLENIUM winning this map, and they don't. What a game that was between these two. We need a little bit of a breather, though.
I think everyone does.
Before we go into map number 4, we'll be going for a very quick break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back just after this. Welcome back to Insomnia at Birmingham I-60.
Yep.
CWL event here, and it's a it's an alright game that's going on so far. We do have a team in the lead, you know. It's not really, but a fantastic game so far. FNATIC in the lead. It's 2-1. We're about to start map number 4.
It's another Hardpoint,
which is
Breakout.
Breakout, yeah, right. Okay, well, I did side with MILLENIUM. I'm going to keep my side with MILLENIUM. I think we're going last map.
Can I just go with FNATIC just to make it interesting between us?
You can if you like.
And I'm going to give a little bit of advice as well, so I don't just.
Oh, you're going to give me some advice?
Not advice. Not advice. I'm going to give you a bit of opinion on why. Why did I say advice? I'm going to give you opinion on why, just so it doesn't sound like I'm disagreeing with you. Breakout Hardpoint for me. I've seen FNATIC play this weekend. They've looked strong in it, but also when you go over to some of the certain hills in this one and they get a little bit more close quarter, I just seen Wuskins and Scraps work together.
Well, that's the thing. It's a mix. It's a mix of distances on this one, isn't it? It depends which way. And I think in MILLENIUM,
which is why I like this map, because you really tested your AR style and also your sub style.
Yeah,
there's your whole variety of your team. Your rotations are important as well because of this. You know, how much time you can lose. Your ARs have to win the gunfights towards mid-map and also when teams are rotating. And your subs need to make sure that they're slaying inside the hill. So really, it's one of the most versatile hardpoint maps I think that we have.
I'd agree. Yeah, I think you just listed what everyone has to do on any hardpoint map ever.
Well, no, Scorch is very different. No, I wouldn't say there's any AR roles in Scorch. That's just me though.
Mid-map.
E-Rad.
I mean, let's have a think. Okay, well, yeah, I suppose it is a little bit more SMG oriented, but as we go into this one,
it reminds me of what's the map on Black Ops 3 that started with F? Fringe. Is it Fringe? I don't know.
No, Fringe wasn't really that. It was like this. All right, stop. Oh, we'll stop because we're just making ourselves look stupid.
Okay. Should we have a look at the Millennium team, though?
Yeah, I think. I mean, so do you go with FNATIC on this one? Do you?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well,
yes.
I'm gonna.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna play
quite strongly as well. I say FNATIC.
Oh, strongly. Oh, right. Now you really are throwing it out there.
250 to 10. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not a real prediction.
So what do you think it's called? Well, actually,
20.
Give me a serious
real serious one. 250. If I'm right on this, 250.
No, if you're right on this, you get nothing.
250 to 213.
Right.
In favour of FNATIC.
Okay. I'm going to go with Millennium. I'm not going to give
I want a score prediction, though.
You're going to give me a score prediction? Okay, as we go into break at Hardpoint, I will give the exact score prediction. It's going to be 250 to 220. That's it.
Oh, okay. I expected more was coming.
Anyway, we're going off. We're waffling. We're waffling. Anyway, moving into this one, though, I just think the Millennium ARs are slightly stronger. Slightly. It literally could go either way. I'm going to stick with Millennium. The colours are wrong. It doesn't matter. Moving into this game, though, we are on board with PD, seeing which way this one's going to go.
Well, those first few kills are going to come in from Millennium, though. You can see Marky B on your screen here. Kind of just lands on somebody's head there, but try to pick up the kill as well, but it will be Scraps that ends up taking him down. Scraps finding a two-piece as well. Good work for the FNATIC team. And he is going to be inside the top of this hill, holding it as well. Player number 1, Moose, trying to get in their position to cause a bit of confusion, maybe trying to stop the yeah, it's an absolute bloodbath going down in the middle of the hill right now. But FNATIC are kind of coming out on top at the minute so far. You see those players are spawning out now. Player number 4, Nolson, though, still in a position to cause problems as he's going to jump up and around, but Scraps once again finds another kill. He started this one off 3-0.
Well, Millennium doing well enough. They are getting the points on the board on the odd occasion, but now we're with Tommy, looking towards the cell block point. They are the first ones there, and they're really, really close to it, actually. Let's see them going through now. And kills are going to come in back and forth between these two. Colours are really confusing me quite a lot here. But we're on board with Scraps. He's going to push on through. PD's going to clear that one out. So Millennium are going to get some points on the board. And this is where I think they're dangerous. They can really hold this down very, very well. Wuskin going to put bullets in there, though. And here comes the kill from FNATIC. They are in control now, though. But Millennium are close to it also.
But this is some big kills on the back here for Wuskins. He will get shot in the back, unfortunately, though. But Tommy will try to go and replicate what Wuskins just tried to do, and this time will actually get round the back. He is going to find one towards the left-hand side who is going to be weak from the nade. Tommy pushes in once again. He's been inside this hill probably the most, more than any other Millennium player. That entire hill, that's FNATIC player, sorry, that entire hill there. But now rotating over, and Wuskins has found the rotation. He's going to be waiting, snaking on this head glitch, just trying to see if anybody pushes. And the 3 players have rather decided than going up Spiral Staircase that they're going to go through mid-map, and Sonny B was waiting for them, and he finds them. They are 2 big kills because the amount of pressure that's now relieved on the players inside the new hill is a lot.
Well, we can see Moose is having a big lap around the map here, and I think, you know, it's just going to be Millennium trying to set up for that one big push to take it, because if they can get control of this hard point, it just allows things to be a lot easier. Wuskin is going to get the kill on the PD. I don't know if I agree with that push in there. He's all alone. But the 3-man round the back through cave is going to be so hard for FNATIC to defend. Here we go. It is going to be Millennium pushing on through. Wuskin has to watch one way, but Tommy and Wuskin coming up with 2 really big plays from him. Moose with one of his own. Is he going to be able to clean up as well? Moose as well is on a 7 streak. I told you him on this map. Substantial players every single time. Fully streaked out 9-2.
Wow, Moose going off. PT trying to join the party as well as he finds himself 4 kills there as well. Eventually he does get taken down. Wuskins is going to be the player that stops him, and Wuskins and Moose kind of your big instigated players so far through this one. Moose, though, has the streaks to call in as well. You can see Wuskins is backed up here, but he's getting pushed by a lot of players. Does find the first kill. One more player towards his right-hand side is going to be Marky B, as he's going to try and find that kill. He goes up in the air, and those are so important. It will be currently Millennium holding the hill, though, as PT's found a way through. Moose is going to be coming up to try and assist him as well, as he's over towards the right-hand side with the Trinity Rockets. They are going to begin to come down. PT staying alive still. You can see the Trinity Rocket's going to go for the player towards the back, but he's just distracted so much that it is going to be Millennium that somehow, after Wuskins finding a 2-piece and holding the spawns, they have managed to flip it out, and Millennium increasing the lead.
Millennium are so strong on this map, and they're showing why so far. Moose going big, 10-2. He just loves this map, the way that it works, plays it well every single time. That's 11 more kill on the board there, and Sonny B does answer back though. Wuskin's there too. Wuskin again really being influential. 9-6 from him. He's going to get a hold of that hard point. Millennium are in the lead. PD going to get the kill on the Sunny B. Going to try and break this one himself. The rest of his team just trying to do something else, trying to look towards the next hard point. Marky B around the back as well. They've set themselves up for the spawn towards Commissary, but there's only 6 seconds left. And we got a very, very close game as we go back to P1 here. Campbell and
really,
Wuskin.
All I'm seeing every single time we're on board with any member of FNATIC that's actually getting killed is this Wuskins. He's the only player really I'm seeing have an impact in this one. But anyway, Scraps' brother will push out. Moose will find him. Moose snapping on everybody and destroying them at this point in time.
Remember, he's got those streaks. They will really come into play towards the end of the game.
Especially that bombardment as well, because we've seen the Trinity Rocket already. But here's Tommy trying to change it up a little bit for the boys on FNATIC, pushing out loads of areas of the map. But no, Nolson will find him. Nobody in the hill yet, though. Finally, Wuskins is going to be the player that jumps inside. He's trying to make this one a little bit more closer. They're only 8 points down from Millennium. This one's back and forth, kind of replicating what we saw in the first hardpoint. It was only a matter of pure genius from Wuskins that really separated that first game. And so far, FNATIC for the first time are going to go into the lead in this hardpoint.
Well, they managed to get the lead, and cell block is set up for them too. So, if anything, you know, FNATIC, they're in a good position here. Millennium want to make sure they get every single point off Central Rooftop that they can. They're going to push on through now. You can see they're trying to take their time. Tommy gets an important kill and gets away with his life as well. So he's going to push on through. FNATIC well set up. Let's see what Millennium can do to try and break this one on board with PT. The kill's going to come in. The kills are coming in for FNATIC. They have to slow this down, Millennium. They have to push in together.
Well, it is, like you said, FNATIC, sorry, that are holding this one. They're holding the spawns as well, and Tommy will find the big kill on Nolson, allowing his team to still spawn there. Nolson and Moose, ring a roses around that truck there. It will be Moose to somehow stay alive, finds the kill on Wuskins. Sonny B, though, he's going to come in with a 2-piece. Eventually will go down from Nolson, who was pushing the war run. The spawns have flipped once again, but FNATIC got a lot of points from that hill time, and they were able to build quite a big lead. But if this all goes in favor of Millennium, they're going to once again tie this one up. Moose and PT finding the kills towards the middle of the map, and Nolson has been pushing out a lot of stuff all of the time. But I'm staying on board with Sonny B, though, because what can he do here? He is waiting for the players to pass. He can wait for a few more to pass, maybe. But good positioning. Finds Sonny B. 128 to 131. And it does look like Wuskins may have the control.
The thing is, though, they have the control. The Millennium are happy to give them that initial control because we know what they have. Here it comes. The bombardment's coming in. And now this is where Millennium have to make their move. It's going to push them away, but that's all it's going to do. Now Millennium are going to have to push in and win the gunfights. PD wins the initial one. Tommy did kill Nolson. Scrapsy coming in there with a kill off Moose. PD missing bullets. And FNATIC, once again, answer the question that Millennium are posing. Really good work by them. Wasted streaks. For me, I think they have to be closer proximity when they put them in so that they have to battle. They have to be in the gunfights while the bombardment's coming in. In the end, it doesn't work out, but it doesn't matter. Millennium are going to come in there with a couple of kills themselves, and Moose once again just lighting the scoreboard up. Sonny B, great position. Is going to be able to do anything with it? Not quite. Does go down the last guy, but then Tommy's there in time as well. Who's that behind him? It's going to be Pete. He's going to clean things up, and eventually Millennium get control, and FNATIC are holding them off for so long. It's only the last 15 to 20 seconds that Millennium are getting every single time. FNATIC in the lead.
We're getting towards the latter end of this hardpoint. Like Tun said, FNATIC are in the lead, but it looks like a war and push. Maybe something that comes in. Follow up from the Scorchers and try to see if you can break it now. Begin to hit the wall, and here they go as a team. All three of them are going to begin to push through. The only player left alive will be PT over towards the right side, but what can these players do first? It's going to be Sonny B inside the hill. He is still around that area as well. He does eventually get taken down. Scraps does find PT, but yes, they worked Cohen's with that Scorcher, and we're able to break in. But Marky B finds a big kill. Like you said as well, spawns have flipped, but the wall and push this time is going to come in from FNATIC. As they tried to break in as well. They need to try and see if they can go big. Sonny B is the only player for this spawn out, and Nolson once again. He may only be 12 and 13, but this is what I was talking about, Ton. They are massive, important kills, and will now surely give Millennium the lead going into this middle hill again.
Showers as well. They could really get some points off the middle hill. Saying that there's quite a while left on Commissary, so not set up as late as they potentially wanted. They wanted those kills a little bit later on. Tommy doesn't miss bullets. Nolson goes down, and he is just about kept FNATIC in a good position to get control of this middle hill as we do move around to it. FNATIC are going to be the ones in control, but Millennium are set up nicely.
Yes, FNATIC, are going to be inside the hill. They're racking up the time, maybe looking to tie this one up. Marky B is going to find a kill. Wuskins pushes out, but he will end up getting taken down by PT. Sunny B trades it, trades left, right, and center. Moose will find the kill on Scraps. That could be the kill that allows them to now push themselves into the hill. 35 seconds remain on this one. Rotations soon to be a thing to pay attention to. Looks like the 200-point mark, though, will get broken by Millennium first. They're trying to take this one to a game 5. Camo available for Moose as well. He's going for even more streaks. That's another 5 streak. Moose is 24-9 as he finds Trinity Rocket and Scorchers once again. He's 50 from the bombardment. PT and Nolson also working alongside him. And Moose has been such a big player through the entire of this hardpoint. They are surely going to be the streaks if he gets the kill as well. Moose is on another 7th streak. Oh. And for a second, I thought maybe he'd take down Sunny B as well. And he's got the camo to use when he comes from spawn as well.
Really good player by Moose. I said beforehand, he's so good on this map. 26-10 out of him in a solid lead for Millennium. The bombardment does come in. We move on. Tommy really doing fantastic work just to hold this down. They're going to take their time. The streaks are coming in, but what that's doing, it's not going to get kills, but Millennium are getting points on the board, and there's nothing FNATIC can do. They don't want to push out because here come the streaks and they're being called out. Nelson's going to get a kill on Tommy. Wuskin does answer back with a kill on the Marky B. They need to take their time and choose their moment. This might be the moment now. Petey gets a kill on the Wuskin as well. Scraps going to pick it up with Sunny B there as well, but all the kills are going in backwards and forwards between these two teams.
Sunny B!
Massive kills by Sunny B. Going to just about get control, but Millennium are not far off. They're in the lead. They only need 16 points, Campbell.
What play from Sunny B there? He's single-handedly broken in. Here comes the camo play, though. It's Moose that's popped it, just trying to contest, waiting for his players to get in. Scrap finds PT. Scrap finds Marky. Moose is going to find Tommy, and Sunny B once again has stayed alive for at least 40 seconds of that entire hill.
I want to see Moose,
and
see
he's
what streaks
inside
he's
it. It's coming down to the wire. Nolson is the player rotated. The Scorchers are going to come in, though, and I think it's from the enemy team. They're going to come through.
Oh, that's massive from Moose.
He takes down Nolson, though. Scraps will be able to push through. Moose
has to go massive.
And Wuskins, it's Scraps trying to stay alive. Sunny B, the impactful player we were talking about, finds another kill. As now they need to break this hill soon. What specialists do they have? They have none available whatsoever. Centurion, the only thing that Sunny B has. Wuskin finds a 2-piece. He's going to break through. Tommy finds it as well, trying to contest. Millennium only need 8 more points to win this one, but Scraps has found the kill on PT.
How are
now
they
he's
still in
breaking
this game?
through. No, Moose again. Impactful for the entire series for this one.
Moose has went massive.
Nolson finds the kill as well, and FNATIC are just throwing bodies one by one into this one. They aren't going to be able to win it, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go to game 5 between these two teams. Millennium managed to clutch up towards the end. Now let's talk about Moose a little bit here. Moose went on 2 lots of a 7 streak, 2 lots of full streaks as well, and was able to really, really go off. Now, the thing is as well, Sunny B over on the side of FNATIC, towards the last 2 hills then, I think for about 40 seconds, he stood inside that hill before the last hill we just went to then, and he just literally just did so well at staying alive. It was contested for at least 10 of the seconds as well. He was the only player from FNATIC in there and really made us go towards that last hill. But no, it is going to be the class coming in there from Millennium, and let's just take a look at the scoreboard as well. 17 kills from both Nolson and Marky B. Moose had the team on his back with 2 minutes and 9 seconds in hill, as well as 31 kills and 4 defends. However, on the other side, Scraps didn't really get off to the start that he would have expected, but like I said, Sunny B was a big influential player for that FNATIC lineup, and we are going to search and destroy.
I hate to say, you know what I hate to say?
What?
I was right.
Okay.
I told Moose on this map, sensational. Every single time we watch him, he comes away with that. We go to the search and destroy. Millennium have already won the search and destroy previously. FNATIC won the first hardpoint, Millennium won the second hardpoint. It's back and forth between these two. Millennium, I'm still leaning towards it. Back and forth this series goes, and I just do not know.
So here's the ultimate question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, right.
I'm going to turn around and go, yeah, don't worry, pal, I got you for this one. So, after what you've seen throughout this entire series so far, really we've kind of been, apart from the last one, the only time we've ever got anything right, and it was you that was able to get that one right there, the only time we've got anything right throughout this series, it was you expected Millennium to take this, and yes, that's what ended up happening. But here we go, I'm going to ask you then, Search and Destroy, last game. You've got the likes of FNATIC, a team that throughout the entire of this Call of Duty game have been a team up there as one of the top in Search and Destroy. However, coming into this weekend, it hasn't looked as confident for them. Going up against Millennium, a team that really is just stacked of talented and smart individuals, your likes of Marky B, your likes of Moose as well. Great S&D minds, and also they're tagged along by 2 great slayers in that game as well. So here's the penultimate question for you, really. Who is taking Game 5 Search and Destroy?
I already told you Millennium.
Millennium. Oh, okay. Millennium.
I honestly, I think Millennium. I think, you know, I want to. What map is it?
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah, I think seeing the map will definitely help me sort of decide. I want to say, is it potentially Retaliation, as we do go through these highlights of Moose just going insane the whole entire time. FNATIC backwards and forwards between these two. Dang it, production.
Hey,
fantastic.
throwback.
Throwback. Okay, so for me,
does that change your opinion?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Because throwback Search and Destroyer, let me get this right, was the one where Wuskins went 13 and...
I think it might be. I think he got 16 kills,
oh,
actually.
okay, so even better then.
So we know FNATIC are good at this map.
Yep.
I don't know. A lot of it comes down to potential early AR fights down
Here's an interesting thing for you, right, that I'm going to throw at you. Last time we saw Elevate come up against Millennium in this throwback Search and Destroy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? You remember how the aggressiveness from Elevate, how they were able to win the first 3 rounds because they were flying through the middle of the map? Isn't that what we're going to see FNATIC do? Well,
yeah, it's definitely what we're going to see FNATIC do, but Millennium have to play that one maybe a little bit more passive, and Millennium will know that. They have to adapt to that. That's the thing. It's a really, really hard one to call. I'm still sticking with Millennium just off the back of that. I want to say in the end, 250 to 202 is a convincing Hardpoint win, if you like. It was backwards and forwards, but they looked in control because Moose was just going off. They had the streaks.
This is the thing.
They were leading on, weren't they?
You can't really say Millennium looked in control. You could say Moose looked in control.
Well, yeah, if you like. You know, Moose went really, really big.
Dominated. We talked about how that was that map specifically was like the versatile Hardpoint map. Moose just proved he was the versatile player. Hill time, slaying, AR, streaks, specialist used. Everything was dominated by Moose.
Well, every single time we see him play that map, he just plays it fantastically well. Did so in that map there, and it saved my blushes, if you like.
Okay, but I think this one's set for round 11.
Do you think?
That has to go.
Oh, you're not just being cliche?
No, it has to. It can't end like 6-0 or 6-1 to one of these two teams. This one has to go to round 11. I wonder how many people as well watching agree that this one should go to round 11.
It should go to round 11 to justify the rest of the game.
Okay.
It's a tough one, though. It's a really tough one. I'm going to stick with Millennium because I don't like changing my predictions halfway through games.
Okay. I'm going to go with FNATIC then.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I absolutely, like, I can agree with you on so many levels about it, but I just think that Millennium...
I can't with you.
I think Millennium, though, they've just looked fantastically strong throughout the series. They look strong in the last S&D. Decisiveness went in their favor in that one. I think FNATIC, you can tell, a little bit despondent there. Okay, a couple of smiles from Scraps, so we'll let him off. But, I mean, the rest of the team
there he is.
Don't look too happy about it. They're going into this, though, need a clean mind, everyone on both sides, to see which way this one's going to go. I think... In all honesty, nobody really knows which way it's going to go.
I mean, I was massively surprised that Millennium took the first Search and Destroy. Obviously, I had FNATIC taking that one, and I just...
Well, I was surprised Millennium took the... sorry, I was surprised that FNATIC took the Hardpoint and the Uplink. You know, I had this as a 3-1.
Yeah, I just think
Millennium would take them
Tommy and this team just have this great deal of chemistry and great deal of communications. Tommy's such a leader of men, and we've spoken about it for the entire of Call of Duty.
But I think if I look at these two teams against each other, I would say Millennium's teamwork and communications probably a higher level than FNATIC's. I think FNATIC's scrappy, not trying to be all funny there, but you know, it is scrappy, fast play. I don't know which way it's going to work. It can work on this map. I think there's better maps for FNATIC than this one, but they are very, very strong at it. There could be better maps for Millennium, but again, we've seen them win the previous Search and Destroy. We've seen FNATIC Search and Destroy again not being fantastic this weekend, which we usually expect from them. So for me, it is a coin toss. I'm going to side with Millennium just based off feeling.
Just to add a little bit more to what we're talking about and the analysing that we're doing here, do you think as well, coming down to a Game 5 on main stage for a very, very high position, that the likes of the Millennium roster are going to be better at it because of how experienced and how much they've been in this situation before? You still have to remember that the team over FNATIC has got likes of young players that haven't really... Okay, yes,
it could be a factor.
Now they have done, but there's
it could be a factor. I mean, for me, FNATIC could have been definitely even further into this series if Scraps had been using his payloads better than he has been.
Yeah,
we need to see him use them better. As we do get in this one, it's going to be map number 5, Throwback, Search and Destroy. 2-2 between these two, and what a series it's been so far. And we can see the AR's been set up. FNATIC choosing to play a slower game, and we know they can play that slower game. Tommy, though, we know he loves that E-Ride in this mid-map. He's going to cause problems there as well. But as we say that, the bomb is going down. FNATIC are going to have to retake this. The grenades come in. They're not going to get the kill, but they eventually are. Now they take the site, but they have to be careful. There's somebody very, very close around. Let's keep it down. Let's keep the tension. Petey comes in there, gets 1 kill. Sunny B and Tommy, they're coming down to back. And suddenly Nelson is left in the 1 versus 3. He makes 1 kill, but he has 2 more to make. And the bomb is not quite being defused. He's managing to just about stay alive. They're going to try and pin him in. Tommy going to go around one side and the other. On the other side, how is he challenging that and winning it? Fantastic gun skill from Nelson to win that fight. He's now in a fantastic position. Who's going to come down to it? It is going to be Tommy to try and take Nelson. He's going to try and get it. Tommy, oh, he's not going to quite get the kill. Nelson eventually wins a massive place from him with a 3v1. Excellent start for Millennium as they take a 1-0 lead.
Nelson just
that
played
first shot of Scraps was insane.
Perfection. I don't even think he knew Tommy was coming from behind him, because after he made the kill on Scraps, he pushed out and pre-aimed the bomb, maybe thinking that the player was on the bomb site as well, but great play from Nelson. I'm just going to keep reiterating back to it. A player I told you to look out for, that's all I'm saying.
Stop blowing your own trumpet.
No,
come on, you said FNATIC.
He's 3-0. He's 3-0. I'm doing it. But anyway, that is correct, though. Millennium are 1-0 up in this one. Can FNATIC bounce back, though? Tommy playing very aggressive through the middle of the map there. He did get jammer grenaded, though, and now they will know where he is about on the map. He's going to be able to catch one, though. The player below him will trade. That's PT. And Scraps now a little bit unsure whether to put the bomb down or not after Tommy went down, but there will be the push coming up here. Now
Millennium go for this retake now. It's going to be very hard for FNATIC to defend it, because they do actually have a player in Sunny B all the way around the back here. Let's see if they can hold it down. The bomb does actually go down. Sunny B in a fantastic position, but Millennium need to retake once again.
Okay, here we go. Then we're on board with Scraps. He is towards the back. He's kind of playing as that player that will peek for the bomb check. It's a 2 versus 2. Nelson and Moose. Nelson still yet to die.
FNATIC are in a fantastic position here, though.
Play for those streaks as well. FNATIC, have backed up to a great position. Nelson, though, been in this position before, but on the other side, this time Sunny B comes out on top. It's a 1 versus 2. Moose versus Sunny B and Scraps, and with 30 seconds remaining, there is not enough time on the clock for the defuse to come in, and surely Moose will just look for the kill, or maybe just run away, play his life, and not feed them anything, and that will exactly be it.
That's the best.
He's going to just jump off the map and not give them the kill or the reward for the bomb going off either. So, FNATIC bounce back, tie this one up. Kind of what I expected to happen. This one is going to be a lot of back and forth for me. Not expecting this one to be a blowout at all. But we're switching sides again. We're back on board with Millennium. It's their turn for offense.
Well, I think the thing was that Sunny B, even though he didn't pick up kills, he was in a fantastic position to pinch, and that allowed FNATIC the confidence to go together. And it just worked out fantastically. The fact that they didn't see him, so that round goes over FNATIC back and forward between these two. And it seems as if Millennium were expecting an aggressive push, so they sit back, and a tentative round again. We've seen so many of them on Scorch, and we're likely to see a couple now. Be interested to see if Tommy will bring out the sniper at any point, but we can see that Millennium are stacking towards one particular bomb site, that one being it. Tommy making and taking the initiative here, pushing around behind him. Millennium will surely be aware that somebody is bound to come behind when they've taken this long. PD just about staying alive. The bomb now getting into a position. Let's see what Tommy's going to do from around behind, but it does actually seem as if FNATIC are just going to try and retake Sunny B, and Scraps go massive. Nelson's going to take down Sunny. Scraps is here, but Tommy's coming in around behind. They have to be so careful, but both teams are, it's on a knife edge. PD does get the kill onto Scraps. Tommy has to take his time. He should be able to get that kill. They're going to get away. That's a massive escape by number 4. It's going to be PT who's just about going to manage to survive. Tommy takes down Nelson. They know where PT should be. 25 seconds remaining. He's going to get this kill.
Oh, Tommy with an E-Rad! Woo! Even Sunny B couldn't realize that just happened. He was like, what has Tommy just done? The E-Rad in hand, and he is going to gun the last player from Millennium, and that will give them the lead in this search and destroy. Wuskins will get the defuse. I don't think any of the 8 players up there really just knew what happened then.
Well, Tommy didn't miss a bullet. I'll be interested. Are we gonna? No, I'm not going to get a chance to see the kill cam, but it would have been a nice one. 2-1 FNATIC now. Back and forth we go. Let's see which way the teams are going to choose this one. And
I'm really waiting to see the team, one of these two teams, like kind of push past the back and forth and either go 3-1 up or, you know, get a 2-round advantage. Sorry,
out.
Because I think that will make the massive difference here. Tommy once again on the overextend. He plays so apart from his team. You see it in Crusher S&D as well. You'll see Tommy sometimes push into A by himself as his teammates go towards B on the offense. Tommy does it a lot, but it ends up working for him. He's such a skillful player that he normally 9 times out of 10 will win the gunfight when on the one player that he is going to face up against. Now you can see he's drawn all the attention for the Millennium boys over towards the B-bomb site. Tommy may still be here, but that is not where the bomb is, and they now know it's over
he's
at A.
So well. He's playing it so well.
Tommy has just wasted so much time in that position. Sunny B will come back, though, to pick up if anybody's overextending, realizes that no one is, and now the Millennium boys have everything stacked against them. Remember what I said, though, whoever really has that round that puts them in the lead. Sunny B comes from behind. That's the 2-piece. Last player is going to be PT, and he's in a 1 versus 3. He's going to be in a world's worst place there, and the FNATIC boys are getting hyped. This is the energy you start to see from them when they go on to win their game in Search and Destroy.
FNATIC really starting to heat up now. I think Tommy, the factor in that one. As soon as he got that kill around the back, that just throws the doubt in the mind of MILLENIUM, and they have to sort of deal with that. And they can't deal with it quick enough. As soon as they deal with that, Sunny B's like, well, I'm going to go run that way because we know the bomb's planted late.
Yeah, and
he picks up the 2 easy kills. Very, very easy. And FNATIC could take a lead of 2 rounds now. Let's have a look towards that, Tommy. I think it's just an FTL that he might be close to. 5 and 3. I still only think he'd potentially be close to at this point.
But once again, look at this play. Tommy plays apart from his team. He trusts his teammates to kind of play their lives. Marky B is going to take Moose down with a trophy system.
Nothing you can do there. He got so weak up one of the grenades. PD is going to get the kill on Tommy, though. So Tommy, I think he probably won't choose to.
A scary player to be going up against. When he's dead, MILLENIUM I would feel a lot calmer that they don't have to watch their backs as much.
Well, the cover across the bomb is going to have to be big. Sunny B and Scraps coming in there with the kills, though. And who was watching that? I mean, it was just a fantastic position to be taken up by Sunny B. And the suicide is going to have to come in from Nelson. And it does so 4-1 to FNATIC. And MILLENIUM have got a mountain to climb.
I hope nobody's good at lip reading. I bet you can guess what Scraps is saying. It's what he normally says the entirety of the time. I'm not going to repeat it, though. But anyway, going into this next one, I was talking about really that lead, and it's now starting to happen. FNATIC 4-1 in this one. This is kind of looking the same way it happened against Red Reserve as well. You know, this is the last year went to game 5 over on the side station. FNATIC went 4-1 up and they ended up winning the search and destroy overall. Can MILLENIUM bounce back though? Tommy once again playing that incredibly aggressive role with the ERAD. Gonna find the one-player close quarter. No one watching mid-map. He's gonna break through once again. Even though it's traded, he's relieved the pressure for his teammates to once again get the bomb down over towards A and just back up. That should be what the 2 brothers do now. Wuskins is on top bridge, his brother's underneath him. There's 2 players from MILLENIUM, sorry, I should say 3 players from MILLENIUM, pushing up and trying to force the kills onto these FNATIC players. But it's so difficult when the bomb does go down in this position. They're just snaking the bomb headlights. 25 seconds remain on this one, and this looks like, so far, the FNATIC might be able to go 5-1 up.
To say about it, though. Sunny B comes in with the kill on the Nelson as well, but they need another one at least. Wuskins going to get the kill on the Moose. It's going to be a very hard round once again for MILLENIUM to win. They are 1 round away from the losers bracket final.
I can't wait if FNATIC win this one to make sure we get this camera shot, because when they stand up and scream, it really is something theatrical from those boys. But they are 1 round away. This series has been a long one. It's gone all the way to game 5. It's been back and forth. We've never really knew who was going to take this one. And really, you could kind of agree with me here, Ton. This is the only time that we have seen either of these 2 teams have a big lead. This is the only time.
This is the only time that we've seen it really be concentrated towards one team. It is not out of the question for MILLENIUM to bring this back. Tommy's got his FTL.
Centurion down as well.
Use it. Centurion is down towards B, so they've completely covered that one. At this moment in time, though, let's see which way this one's going to go. It does seem as if it's going to be called in. Yep, here we go. Sunny B with the Scarab. There is a kill. Went towards MILLENIUM, though. They're in a good position. What can they do from this? Now, you see, FNATIC can set up there because they know the Centurion is over on the other side. So they are going to try and force them. Nelson's in a bit of a sticky situation there. They've caught him off guard. Sunny B does get 1 kill as well, traded away, 2 versus 2. This is going to be a very, very hard round for MILLENIUM, but they're running away with it. Do they know it? I think they've taken Centurion down as well.
Yeah, I think they have done. 2 versus 2 situation. The bomb is going down over towards B. MILLENIUM will get the plant off. Scraps and his brother are going to be the 2 players left alive to try and take FNATIC through to that losers final. Interesting play coming in from Wuskins there. Looks like he's going through the mid-map. Now, look at the position of the player number 2 for MILLENIUM. That is actually Marky B.
He's covering so much area.
Finally will be able to rotate back, but is Wuskins going to find him? And he does. It's now a 2 versus 1. Moose drops, and that is going to be it. The reaction comes in from the FNATIC boys. They take the search and destroy 6-1. And now you said it earlier. Oh, well, I was right. Well, guess what, Ton? I was right. FNATIC did take that final search and destroy 6-1. A dominating performance, the only dominating map that we've seen through the entirety of these 2 teams. And ladies and gentlemen, FNATIC take the series, and this one's all over. 3 to FNATIC, 2 to MILLENIUM.
All right, big win there for FNATIC over MILLENIUM. Keep doing it. Took down Red Reserve in a 3-2 just a game ago, and now have taken down MILLENIUM. Joining me on the desk a little bit different again, we brought Zero back on. You're just like, you're a fan favorite. Everybody loves you, so we had to bring you back.
No, you think I'm your favorite?
I am.
So.
Yeah, you are my favorite. That's why we brought you in here. COD knowledge in a wonderful package. That's basically you.
I mean, don't know about wonderful package, but COD knowledge I'll bring.
All right, let's talk about this game then, Zero, and kind of start breaking it down here. Is this the way you expected it to go?
If this happened maybe like a month or so ago, when Mill were considered the best team in Europe, then no, I expect Mill to take it 3-0. But FNATIC's S&D is really, really good. From what I've seen anyway, I've never really, well, we played them and beat them 3-0, but
yeah, well,
from what I've seen from this event, FNATIC have been really decent at S&D. They've always clutched up their game 5s. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. So it's kind of curious, right, when we look at it here, because coming into this tournament, it was basically Splice, they're going to be first. Then we were talking about a lot of the 2 to 6 position. In second and third, pretty much was Mill and Red Reserve. They're now both out of this tournament.
Yep.
Go down just one. It was then like Epsilon FNATIC, they could have been in either place, and then Elevated 6th. Well, Elevate did go out 6th, but those 4th and 5th position are actually at least top 3.
Absolutely, and I think going in this event, nobody really would have predicted this to happen, and Millennium in the end do lose that game, but I think, you know, I think it's just such an at the actual event base, who turns up on the weekend. I know we've talked so much about like who's top 6. This is not definitive of who's there at all whatsoever, and I think just a good weekend from Epsilon and FNATIC so far, really showing that, and FNATIC with a really good win against Millennium.
And an interesting thing as well to bring up and add to kind of what you were saying then as well about the Red Reserve and Elevate possibly being, not Red Reserve and Millennium, sorry, being that team that would possibly second or third. They've both lost to FNATIC. FNATIC have both beaten those 2 teams, and I was saying this kind of while we were casting, how far are FNATIC going to go? You know, every single event they get better and better and better. Now, as much as I love FNATIC boys, I don't think they will be able to beat the guys on Splice, but I honestly have FNATIC taken second place this entire weekend.
All right, well, big call actually there to say that, considering the team they're about to play beat them in groups a little while ago. But before we get too much into that, I want to throw it down to the floor now. Should be another interview. It should be Jonas.
All right, thank you so much. I'm joined once again by Tommy. Very happy, Tommy. I'm guessing after this game. Last time we talked, I asked you where you wanted to be and if you were happy. Now it's a better time to ask that question. Do you feel like you've progressed much as a team now?
Yeah, but we're a bit happy and annoyed at the same time. We're making things so difficult for ourselves. It seems like every single map we have points to the game where we just completely have no idea what we're doing, and we make so many mistakes, but it's good to come out with a win. We're just looking forward to the Epsilon game now.
Yeah, it's been kind of weird because we've been expecting you to go into the S&Ds and maybe get all the S&Ds, and you mentioned as well against Epsilon, you picked up 2 Hardpoint but no S&Ds. So is it maybe inconsistencies, and how are you going to fix that until the next game?
It just seems to be on rounds where we have the advantage and put ourselves in the right positions, we always lose, and then rounds we shouldn't win, we win. So, I mean, we just need to go back to basics, I guess, and just try and work on stuff going into stage 1, and that's what we're trying to do here.
All right, I've got one question for you, Tom. We see you time and time again in the S&D. You go as a lone wolf on the side, and yet you still pick up kill. And people know you're going to do it. How do you do it every time?
Playing against them, I enjoy it quite a bit because we know that they do the same sort of thing. They send 3 one side and mark the other. So if you just try and play it smart, I guess. Sometimes a bit lucky in terms of timing, like you'd push and they peek out, but I don't really know. It just seemed to work. I got a few first picks and then my team did the rest.
Last question, very short answer. Do you think you can take on Epsilon?
I believe so. If we play like we did against them in groups, obviously it'll be a bit more intense game now. But as you say, we lost 2 S&Ds against them the first time. If we take one here, we can win it.
Well, let's see what the guys on the desk think of that. Bryce, back over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Tommy.